about abundance on this show, and the name of my show is Abundance Show. And I'm holding Pakistan Abundance Summit next year, April 2026, in Karachi. And today we've got a distinguished guest, Christopher Eden. He is from Sweden, and he is an amazing personality. He's a unique story. So he'll be telling us about the people of Sweden, their routines, their culture, and everything about Sweden. Over to you, Christer Eden.
Thank you so much for the invitation today again. I'm thankful for being here, and I'm so happy to share some parts from Sweden. I think the collaboration between Pakistan and Sweden is so interesting.
That's amazing, cool. So, what are your interests? What are your routines? What is your skill set, and what is your interest?
My skill set and my interest is related to coaching and empowering people and how to actually using, I should say, social media collaboration and finding new ways to create a relationship between people. And I'm really interested in the mindset, how we are thinking, what we can do, which is empowering ourselves and others. So when I'm working with people also as a project manager and seeing for new opportunities, it's really important to understand the creativity, how important it is to don't continue to do the same thing we always have done. So I think it's important to challenge ourselves, our way of thinking. And one of the things is that we used to become like the habits, and then we are afraid of change. I used to say the best we can do is actually open our mind and listen to other people and look what they are doing and understand, also learning about different cultures and traditions. I think that is so important.
That's cool. I mean, that's such a beautiful insight into this stuff. Okay, and what are things in common between Pakistan and Sweden?
Something which I noticed, which is a little bit common, that is the nature between the countries. Pakistan's nature, you have a beautiful nature with the mountains are much higher in Pakistan, of course, than Sweden, but we have some mountains here, and the area is very different in different part of Sweden. So that is something I've noticed. There are parts in Pakistan, the areas which are looking almost similar here as there as in Sweden. So that is the most similar what I've seen. And also something which I think is that you have, and that is you have an interest for travel. I think to learn about other countries. Sweden has a traditional Vikings. You know, we have always wanted to travel. We have very cool, you have a very hot climate. We have very cool climate. So we want to go abroad during the winter time when it's so cold. And I think you have very hot summers. Then it's not so easy to stay when it's up to 50 degrees. Then you're mostly inside, as I understand. So the travel, I think, interest in travel.
In summer, I mean, 53, it goes to 53. Mercury touches 53 degree
Yeah.
in certain part of Pakistan. And generally, we've got out of 12 months, we have 8 months which are like not very pleasant, but 2 months
Yeah.
are very pleasant. So overall, okay. How about, I mean, every civilization starts from a home. How about housing in Sweden?
The housing, I should say, we have a lot of apartments in the cities, of course, and in the towns, because that is the place where people are mostly living. So there used to be apartments, buildings. They are not so high. It's not skyscrapes like they have in other countries, but we have some suburbs as well where they are also living in apartments. They are 3, 4 floors high. It can also be like terraced houses. It's quite common as well. And group villas. So the most people are living in apartments. And then the houses, the villas, it's a big difference because some people, they can afford, they have big villas, and others, they have like small places. And it's I should say in the cities you can find villas, you can find places, but the prices are of course 10 times higher almost than there are in a small town which I'm living in. So I should say there are possibilities to find a place for everybody in Sweden where you can live. And there are a lot of houses on the countryside which are very cheap compared to if you want something close to the city.
That's cool. And now the story of buying your own home through mortgages.
Yeah, that's the most common, that we are buying our homes through mortgages. So that is a part which we used to have pay like cash or have the amount of money which we pay in, and then we have the rest in mortgages. So we are paying the down payment for 30, 40 years, something like that, and then the prices. When the inflation is increasing, then the prices for the houses goes up, and you can get the money back for what you invest in your own house, so to say. I always learned that it is always best to buy and own your own place instead of renting, because if you only have and you pay rent for something, you will never get the money back, but you're paying someone else a lot of money for you are renting the place. So there are most of the apartments are rental apartments, but there are always also the possibility to buy your own apartments here as well.
That's amazing. And how about the social housing from the government side?
The social housing or social places, that is when you have people like they can't afford to pay, then they get like an apartment. So they get money from the governance, and then they are able to live in those places. And the social housing used to be for elderly, and then they have like health care environment, and they have for different groups of people. And depending on if you have been a worker, housewife, if you look many years back, but now most people are forced to work. Both the man and the woman must work in Sweden, because that's the system. So we have very different system to many other countries. It's totally different to Pakistan when we are talking about how the families are living in Sweden compared to Pakistan.
Any advice you want to give it to your Sweden government?
Yeah, I should say that is we have so much of regulation related to building an apartment or no, building a villa or house. So the costs for installing the water, installing electricity, it's incredible prices. It's like, okay, I have a villa or I want to build something. Then you have to pay so much money for the regulation. And even if we have so much regulations, we have problem with mold. We have problem with when they are building something, the construction is not good material, so you can become allergic to it, and so on and on. They are coming with so many regulations which increase the prices when you want to build something new. So my suggestion here is to look more about a natural building, because I've seen how you build in Pakistan on the countryside with the bricks, with the cement, when you don't use the organic material like wood, for example, because if you have it, it will be mold and it will be destroyed very shortly. Here we have a lot of wood houses, and they are not taken care of, and then they are not standing against the weather when it is snowing, when it's coming rain, and so on. So I should say less regulation and make it easier for people to start and build and make their own places. That is what I think would be very good.
Thank you, Christopher. Actually, Christopher, tell me about the organizations working for housing, for the social housing. Do you have NGOs around there in Sweden working for housing solutions?
Uh, that's a good question. We have like organizations which are in some way partly, I should say, supported for people who are not having so much money. But those apartments are then going directly from the taxes and the rental for. So that is the house companies which are there are no such big organizations. And then we have, like, when you're needing a mortgage for the house, which they have also from part of the governance side, SBAB, and they have for building. They more, I should say, support the construction companies. Them they get more like possibilities to build and start up the construction, and then so it will be more work for the construction workers and so on. That's a part also why it's so expensive when you are building something. So therefore it can come people from other countries who are cheaper labor when they are coming to Sweden, and then they start to fight with the union. They are saying they are too cheap, you are using this and that. So that is an interesting market, and we have, not what I know, any kind of NGOs who are building and doing it for free. We have organizations like NGOs, and they are supporting poor people, like homeless people, with possibilities where they can sleep and not pay. We have a problem also in Sweden, and that is, we have no restriction to alcohol. We are not allowed to take in drugs if it's not prescribed by doctors. Then we can get prescription for whatever we want, more or less. So a lot of people are becoming drug addicted because the system it's so easy to get the drugs from the drug industry. So they have that kind of system. But the alcohol makes a lot of people, when they are alone in Sweden, then they go out and they drink alcohol and they feel not good, and then they are not paying the rent for their apartments, their places, and then they are becoming homeless. And many of them are also saying they don't want to get involvement from the governance. They want to be by themselves. Then they can sleep like anywhere because they want to be independent from the system. They don't like to stand there and beg for something. And
Yeah, I
you can
understand. I
also,
mean, there is a problem for
yeah.
homelessness, but I mean, how about do you find regular homeless people there, or like there are few, and there are no NGOs are working for homeless people, or no government is working for the homeless people in Sweden? Do you think how can this
um,
issue be resolved? Are there people working for this or no?
I should say there are two parts. One is, as I said, from the governance. Then they support people so they don't become homeless, or if they are uh, actually taking care of them without being to the alcohol and become lost in their minds, so they can't take care of themselves. Then they used to get help with a place where they can live, because we have that as a part of the law, that everybody shall have a house and home, a place to live. So they have, like, also the homes for sick people, I should say, people who are mentally sick, or they are having some kind of problem with the abuse, addiction, and so on. Then they have certain special buildings for those people. They are not looking so good, but they are getting a place at least, so they don't have to sleep outside. But some of them are in so poor shape, so people prefer to sleep in another place. They want to sleep in places. So during the summer, they can go to a park. They can go to sleep on the subway. They can sleep in a cellar. They can live in a very poor condition because they don't want to be dependent of the system. Then we also have the NGOs, and I know some of them, and they are very good. They really take care. They care about the people and their dignity, and then they collaborate and to see how they can do with the social services together with the individual, so they can come back to the society instead of being homeless and laying on the street. So that is depending on, I should say, the individuals with a big heart who wants to help people. Then they start up an organization, and then they start up to get it funded and from different places. And people used to be very caring when they have certain cases. They tell about the person, homeless, living like this, have been working, lost everything, and were dropped out from the system and need help. So then they go in. And also with the food, we have also when they are actually saying now we have a place you can go. Many of the churches, Salvation Army, for example, I worked for them in prisons and so on. They used to have some days when they give food for free. They help people. They help the migrants coming to Sweden, and I've been there as well and helped them with learning about Swedish and Swedish traditions, culture, and so on. So we have NGOs who are helping people, and we have also the social healthcare system, which is taking care of people in that way. But it's not always working so well. The people are always coming between, and some are still on the street, and some people are here without paper. You have, for example, the paperless migrants who have come to Sweden. They can't go anywhere except for those NGOs or the churches or people when they are helping them. So those people are homeless. And then we have people also from the Roms, the gypsies from Finland, from the Slavic countries and so on. And they are sometimes living like in a place. They have a lot of house wagons, so they are living in a very poor condition. And then they sit on the street and beg for little money and so on. So we have some challenges related to that. But most, I should say, people, when they see people who are poor or homeless, they used to help them in some way and say you can go there. And try to talk to them and make them to not just stay on the street.
Amazing. You're a very amazing person. I see an ambassador, a Sweden ambassador to Pakistan, and on your wall. So, do you have any communication with Sweden embassy here in Pakistan?
Yeah, I've had little earlier, but I'm going to take this up again. I want to increase now the
Okay,
collaboration with
now
them.
you got my point. I want people to people contact. More
Yeah,
we talk, more we become more friends, and there will be a lot of opportunities as we are exploring opportunities between Pakistan and Sweden that we can be mutually beneficial to each other, mutually respectful, and mutually sovereign. Okay, now
exactly.
coming to your routine. My question about your routine. What do you do? I mean, get me a whole day routine when you get bed to bed.
Yeah, I used to wake up quite early. I used to wake up around 5 a.m. and then I go up and prepare for the breakfast. And yeah, I check how it is with my wife and how everything is. And we start up the day. And then I, after the breakfast, see what are the next steps today. For example, now I am searching for job opportunities. I am talking with people and see applying and see what shall I do, what is the focus now. So I'm looking at many different kind of possibilities, and I also took recently contact with the Second Chance, and I was actually helping working with people who have addictions and they are ex-criminals and so on. And sometimes I get a mail or I get a phone call from ex-clients. I had one now. He said he has a criminal background, but he has changed his life and he's going like that. And when I see a person changing their lives, I'm always talking with them. I'm always being a human being who are caring about them. Because when a person have lived a life and people are looking down at them, I am always saying it can happen to anyone. And the most important is that they are being seen, that they are caring about each other. And the best way to change your lifestyle, that is to have another person who actually believe in you, who are there for you and saying, yeah. And he suggests to me, can we have a fika, a coffee? In 2 weeks, I will get money, he said. And he's working a lot for being free, independent. And I think that is so good, because then I can say, yes, of course we do. So that's an example of a conversation. It can also be someone who is saying that I have a friend in a country who has been abused by someone. It's not so uncommon that men can be very abusive to women, which is really horrible. I have been working with that as well. And then I give some suggestions that you need to take contact with this or that organization, and I search for them and help them, so they will get action plans, so they can actually do something, instead of saying, no, I don't want to get involved in this. Because I have worked with people who have been through really, really hard situations in their lives, both men in prisons, and they have been abused as children, they have seen the worst, and so on. And those people, I can go back to homeless. It's really easy to be homeless if you are abused and you are living in a family. Suddenly you are out and you don't have a home. You don't have money, because it might be the man, the husband. That's very common. Or you have children, and how shall you take care of the children if you are not allowed to get an apartment, and all of the companies are saying you don't have a salary, you don't have those money? Then I have contact, then I take the phone and I say, hey, I have a person now in this situation. Can you help this person? Not accepted by the normal system. Yeah, please, it's okay. Okay, we keep the contact. And then I talk to the person. Are you able to manage to do? Yeah, I have everything in order. Okay, then we skip the normal procedure, because I have this contact. So I should say it's a lot about connecting people and talking with people. So knowing people and who you shall contact. So that is so important. And then I continue. Then it's lunch, and I have started up to cook like Pakistani food. I love to make biryani. I am starting up to do different kind of Pakistani dishes, and my wife is guiding me. You take this, and then I start up and do the cooking, because I think the cooking is a very, I should say, process for relaxing your mind and also keep it in shape, because you need to remember the recipes and the procedures for the cooking, what you shall start with, what you end with. So that is also a good way to, and the food is so good. I like organic food. I like natural. I don't like industrial produced food, because I think that is not good for the bodies, and it's not good for the environment either, because we shall eat as much natural, organic as we can. I think that's the best, and naturally cooked. That is also important. So, and then the afternoon, and then it start, and then I see what shall I do now, and talk to someone in family, brother call me or something like that, or so then I continue and see, and then we have like this meeting. I was really looking forward to have this today, because we are talking about the collaboration, what we can do. So, and then I will come back and talk with my wife and brief her what we had, and she watched the video from yesterday, really liked it, and so on. So we are all the time seeing how we can proceed. And since I said I am now looking for job opportunity, we shall go and meet somewhere, because that's important, that we can be together physically also. So that is what I'm working on now, to get job, to get an opportunity to go, and plan to go to Pakistan. I really want to go and visit, and also to the schools, Rehan schools. I think it's a great job. I have been interviewed by so many of the students now, so I really want to come there and say, now I am here finally, like that. And
Okay, I've got a bit of noise around me here. There's some marriage ceremony going on. I mean, this is how our marriages are like. So they would be listening to some sound coming from outside. Okay, my next question is, Sweden has one of highest rates of entrepreneurship in Europe. What policies or cultural factors have helped, and how can Pakistan create a similar environment for the startup?
I should say the last, I think, 10, 15 years, we have started up with entrepreneurship in schools. So that's a part of the school program, entrepreneurship. I was actually teaching in one of the multicultural schools about entrepreneurship and how important it is to have like an entrepreneurial mindset when you are thinking, I am not getting money from someone. I need to create the money. Okay, I have this. Do you want to buy this? Yeah, and then start like thinking in a way that you are not always getting money. I taught my children how to. Yeah, they started to work since they were children. I started to work and earn my money myself. I was washing windows. I was working with as a babysitter when I was 11, 12 for my family's friends and say, no, I want this, I can do this. So I think it's about that we always need to find. I wanted to have a motorcycle when I become 16. And then my father told me, he was police for over 30, then you have to work. Okay, I want to work, and help me with the work at the farm. So I worked the whole summer at the farm from 8 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. I was forced to go around the field and fixing the poles for the fence around the field. I had to clean the hen house. It was pouring down and it was horrible in the warmth. I was cutting wood for, I don't lie, it was like 15 meter with wood, and I should cut them into pieces with a machine and then more pieces so they could use it for their heating during the winter time. So, and I was taking care of the kettles. So the cow, I learned a lot. I had to learn. I was driving tractor as well, so I really liked that. I was 15 years of age. I was driving 100 kilometers with my moped. Yeah, the light motorcycle with a small engine. It took me like 3 hours, and I was driving every Friday and every Sunday evening back because I was living close to the farm, not where I was living with my parents. So I think the way we need to do entrepreneurship is based on that. And my father, who was a cop, he always said, I need money. He started up and worked in a garage and fixed friends' cars. He fixed engines. He fixed gearboxes. Yeah, and all what was needed. So he got like extra money as a police. So we could travel. I had what I needed and so on. So that was so important as well to be able to do all of those things.
Amazing story you have. Okay, now coming to the entrepreneurs, because you've been taught, you've been teaching entrepreneur in your schools. What were the entrepreneurial opportunities between Pakistan and Sweden that you can benefit from, and we also?
I think what you have and what I've seen, for example, in Rehan School, how you have introduced AI, how you have got the students to start up to using, creating graphics, they are creating marketing, they are using IT, they are into science, they are like all kind of things which is covering related to AI. And I should say everything can be used with the help of AI and improve it and find ways to do things. You are also this way of that you're also going back and saying you need to clean your area. So I have seen how you work from a holistic perspective with the students, and I think collaboration related to entrepreneurship is that you have a lot of very natural, good organic processes with the wheat production, with the food production, with the all of those natural things, the nature. Sweden has come, we have a cool climate, we have like machines for producing things. We know with the help of, for example, my grandfather was actually one of the founders of a distribution for the milk production and how it was distributed from the farms out to the different areas for distribution of the milk and cheese production and so. So he was one of the founders. And another relative was the founder of Volvo. He was Assar Gabrielsson. He's also a part of my relatives. So I got to know a lot about those things. And now I am thinking about with all of those experiences, it's not so strange that I can say, okay, I go to Argentina and stay there for 1.5 years, or I want to go to Pakistan. And we need to open up for different kind of possibilities to see what are the strengths, what are the possibilities in Pakistan, what is the resource, how can we take care of it? Because I heard about you have the melon and you threw it away more or less and they become old and the tomatoes are not used. It's possible to use them for something which is good, and you need help of machines and production and the technology in some way. And we have high technology related to those things in Sweden. For example, all the ABB, the companies, and I mentioned Volvo, and there are a lot of construction. The the mining in Sweden is very old. We started with iron mining. We have we took care of the stones and we produced iron, and we were very early. So we were production of iron in Sweden, and we exported and also creating the machines made from iron. So I am learning a lot about how the history is in this area. I can see the Copper Bay, that is Copper Mountain is the place where I'm living. And it's from the almost 1,000 years old. And you can think about when people came here and started up with the production of the copper, how they used the mining, how they used the fire, and how they used it for actually creating tools. So I think collaboration with technology and the organic and the farming between the countries could be very beneficial for both countries and for the people.
Okay, I mean, this was all from today because I mean, I'm already more than the time we were appointed for. So thank you so much, Krister. See you in my next podcast, and we'll be podcasting every day. So
Yeah,
maybe same time, maybe half an hour earlier from tomorrow. So that's gonna be great.
yeah,
Something gonna great coming up out of our discussions. And I really thank you so much, Christopher, for being there. And lastly, I would like to give you an idea. Think about anything that you, your wife, and I from here, from Pakistan, can do for your employment there, and any entrepreneurial activity that you can generate there. Even you can open, if you've got kids, young kids, or like elder people, we can open our Ihan school in your house. This is possible if you have got kids. Yeah, I mean, you since you've been teaching entrepreneur, so this school is entrepreneurial school which is based on AI. So the kids and you're gonna learn, and your wife is already highly educated. I mean, I really she's our pride. So I mean, you just think, sit together, think on the idea that we can create a franchise in your home. I mean, you can work from home,
yeah.
you can get kids there, and then we can teach online. There'll be online academy earlier, and then you can transform it into a school. So everybody, all parents are worried about their kids every around the globe. I mean, the
Oh,
and
yes.
this is an opportunity. I'm just giving it to you, and just think on it. And I'm here, all your help, since I'm also completing my teachers training course in next maybe 20 days. So I'll be all
Yes.
yours. So you can open a school in Sweden. So I'll be teaching online, and I'll also training you and your wife. And if anybody else wants to
Yeah.
be there, and just kickstart the idea. You can work from home. You've got stable internet connection. You've got the laptop. You've got
Yeah.
your cell phones. You've got everything there. All you need is everything is there. So just think on this, and in next podcast we'll be discussing on the idea. That does it resonate your
Yes,
heart?
we very good idea. Very good. Thanks for that. I bring it with me to my wife, and
Yeah, sure.
that's a very good idea. I say, yeah,
You've got everything in you just because
perfect.
you've been entrepreneurial teacher, and you've been in the field. You have got real experience, and your wife is highly educated. So I don't find any issue that you can't start. You can real kick start right away, right now. Just what you need is to you need a little training, and I'll ask Sir Rehan for your training, and I hope you can. Do you want to join my class as an observer? In like this will be in 1.5 hours from now.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that would be great to
Okay.
observe. That's the best way to
Yeah,
learn before you
you
start
you
you doing
can you
yourself.
can join. Your wife can join. I can ask my teacher, and I'll be talking to my principal in Karachi right after this conversation is over. Saying just have an idea. Yeah, everything is available on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. You go,
Yeah,
and all every you can just have a crash course. You can go through the stuff, and the books all available. This is an open source school. So this is abundance. Yeah, sorry,
that's
Sarihan.
abundance. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's abundance.
abundance. Yeah,
So that's what I mean. We are here for. We want to impact the globe. We want to impact the 8 billion people on the face of earth
yeah,
very positively, in a very loving and appreciative manner, and with
yeah,
huge respect for each other. If you can open school there, you'll get benefit out of it for sure. So that's all from my side today,
yeah.
and I'll
That's
let you know in a while that if you can join our class or else. Okay. Thank you, Mr.
thank
Adnan.
you so much.
Yeah, it's
Thank
always nice
you.
having you. I mean,
Thank you
you're
for
a source of energy for me. I see you. I get very positive vibes from you, and you're such. See, you're an innocent soul. I mean, I
that. Thank you.
really I have a lot of huge respect for you, brother. See you. Stay blessed. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks the same. Stay blessed and Allah Hafiz.